Hello, everyone. Welcome to Court with Krissy. What a better way to kick off the Labor Day weekend than have your bad boy behavior land you behind bars. And just so you know, I saved my favorite clip for the very end. Buzz Lightyear, to infinity and beyond. I hope you like it. Court with Krissy is now in session.
Yeah, I got you. Stay right there. I got you. Put your foot up. Look at the camera. Say your full name.
Dietrich.
So what's your full name?
Dietrich Lee Johnson.
Is your first name Donald?
Dietrich.
Dietrich.
Yes.
Let's see if I have a Dietrich.
Last name Johnson.
So the guy you could hear is Officer and Constable Gary Harris.
No, we're looking for Dietrich.
You're looking for Johnson.
All right. The gentleman in orange, is your last name Johnson, sir?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Dietrich Johnson. He is number 18 on page 1. Mr. Johnson, a magistrate Chatbad. Not only do you have a criminal matter, but you also have a misdemeanor matter where you did not show up for court, sir. Court is going to recall the warrant. You're going to get personal bond. Nobody has to pay any money for you to get out of jail. Then enter a plea of not guilty. Court dated 04/531. Misdemeanor is operating under the influence of liquor. Enter plea of not guilty. Court date is October 3rd, 2024. Pre-trial in front of Judge Williams. Mr. Johnson, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say, orally or writing, it can be used against you in a court of law. Right to an attorney. Have that attorney present during questioning. If you're unable to afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Court expense. Understand those rights, sir?
Yes.
All right. So now let's go with the criminal matter. Case number is 2405909-101. You have, please say your full name, including your middle name.
Dietrich Lee Johnson.
Thank you, sir. You have an attorney. Go ahead, counsel.
Jessica Scheibe on behalf of Mr. Johnson, who is formal reading, understands his constitutional rights and stands mute.
Thank you. I'm going to enter plea of not guilty. Court dates are September 10th, 2024. Probable cause conference followed by preliminary examination, September 16th, 2024. Both matters are in front of Judge Sabri. Mr. Johnson, while this case is pending, you are not to go to the location. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel Vincent, you're here on behalf of the people. Go ahead, Esteban, please.
Thank you, Magistrate Vincent P71917. Judge, we see this defendant as he's got a high level of desperation going on. We understand that there may be some mental illness, but there's a lot of irrational behavior. As Your Honor can see, we have a defendant who let himself into a residence, and then apparently defecated on the floor and on laundry of the resident. He was found in the house by the resident and he was nude. She ended up calling the owner of the home as well as the police, Judge, and this defendant, he was arrested. Neither the resident nor the owner knows this defendant. So just based on his actions, Judge, we find him to be a danger. He did let himself in the house, and he was in the house standing. It's my understanding that he has an amputated leg. I'm not arguing flight. I'm just arguing the fact that if he's going to let himself into somebody's house and do this, that behavior exhibited, I think,
I didn't
Judge, we
like that.
Sir, please
Mr.
don't
Johnson,
interrupt
please
anybody.
don't say anything.
he was found with his own feces on the back of the shirt he was wearing. So respectfully, Judge, we're going to be asking for some type of cash bond here. If he's willing to do this, then we don't know what else he's capable of.
Council Shive, go ahead, please.
Your Honor, Mr. Johnson is 71 years old. He's not on probation or parole or nothing pending. He has an amputated leg. He's in a wheelchair, lifelong resident, no previous history that we are aware of. Your Honor, he suffers from mental illness. He's on medication for that. We don't believe he's a danger to anybody here, Your Honor. We believe there is things going on with his mental illness, Your Honor, you know, given the alleged facts of the case. Respectfully asking the court to consider a personal bond and no contact. He lives with his grandma. Your-
Lives with his grandmother, Council Shive?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
71, so the grandmother is in 90s.
He said he lives with his grandma. Yes.
Council Vincent, can you tell me, was there any type of assault behavior on his part during this incident?
I mean, other than on the floors and on the clothes of the resident. No, it's the idea that he's letting himself into somebody's house where he doesn't belong. That, in addition to the fact that he has that previous armed robbery conviction. So, Judge, we just find him, based on his irrational behavior, to be a danger.
Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, I'm going to give you an opportunity. You need to stay away from the, do you understand that?
Yes.
So you can't go back there, sir. I'm giving you one chance. I'm going to give you a $75,000 personal bond. Nobody has to pay any money for you to get out of jail. If you violate, sir, next time it may be a monetary bond. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Johnson. That concludes your arraignment. You can step aside, sir.
Okay, hold your feet up, best you can, sir.
So I'm gone. I'm dismissed.
Yep, perfect, fine, we got you.
All right, what's your name, sir? DDC.
My name is Julian Ellen Brown. Julian Ellen Brown, like initials Jazz spelled backwards Bash, Super Saiyan and Star Wars Agent and Angel.
Is that it? What's his government name?
Judge, it's Mr. Julian Brown, Your Honor.
Julian Brown?
Yes.
Okay, one moment. Calling case number 240-591-2401. People say Michigan versus Julian Brown. Appearances, please.
Lisa Coyle, appearing on behalf of the people.
And Ryan Murad, PA 3665, on behalf of Mr. Julian Brown. We waive the formal reading. Mr. Brown stands mute. He's been advised of his constitutional rights.
Court of not guilty plea on behalf of Mr. Brown. Bond argument.
Your Honor, his prior record shows a 2016 unarmed robbery. He is currently on probation to Judge Regina Thomas in the Third Circuit Court for an arson, preparation to burn real property. He received 3 years probation. He was just sentenced on July 30th of this year. Within a month, he picked up this gun case. He did have a KPS on that case June 21st. There is a mental order in his lien. Officers make a run for person with a weapon. Your Honor, the people believe that he could be a danger to the community and that the people are asking for 10% the tether in this matter. Even though it's non-assaultive, he is on probation. He does have a mental order. He did have a gun, allegedly recovered from his person. And based on all that, Your Honor, the people are asking for that bond.
Mr. Murad?
Your Honor, I'd argue that the worst conduct contained in this investigator's report is unlawful possession of a firearm. It doesn't seem that there was any combative nature between him and the police officers whatsoever. He's 27 years old. He indicates that he's gainfully employed locally at Sam's Club. I'd ask the court for personal bond and no firearms here.
What are his hours at Sam's Club?
Mr. Brown, can you tell the court what hours you work at Sam's Club, sir?
6 o'clock.
How many hours at 6 o'clock?
No, Your Honor, if I may. Mr. Brown, what time do you get there and what time do you leave, sir?
I get there about like at 11 and then I leave about 5:30.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Brown.
Is that 11 a.m. to 5:30 p.m.?
Yes, Your Honor.
Just want to make the record clear. Anything else, Mr. Rod?
Judge, if the court's considering tether, I'd ask the court not to unless there's been any KPS history that the court's aware of.
Mrs. Cole, didn't you mention a KPS history?
I did. On the arson case, there was a failure to appear on June 21st of 24 on that case.
That's what I thought. All right, $10,000 personal bond in this matter. Mr. Brown, while this case is pending, sir, you're not to possess any handguns, firearms, or other dangerous weapons. You'll be fitted with a GPS tether, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew. Probable cause September 6th, preliminary examination September 13th, both in front of Judge Jefferson. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Can you bring out Autry?
Let's see. Okay. This is 24 CR 00604-2E. Samuel Najima, charged with one count of criminal trespass. That's one you need to interview? And
Yes,
second count of simple assault.
To whom am I speaking?
Mr. Cook, you need to mute yourself.
I'm sorry. Hang on.
Mr. Najima is my case, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. All right.
Can you still hear me?
We can.
Oh, the courtroom too can hear me.
No, we can hear you. We all can hear you. You're not muted.
Okay, well, it's okay.
Can you mute him? Who's my Zoom master?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Still hear you.
Well, if they could call me on my cell phone, maybe that would be better. Since I can't.
We're going to be able to hear your conversation. Who is the Zoom master today? Who's the litigation manager?
It's Miss Bridgewater, but it's Miss Grace as the host.
Yeah, can you mute Mr. Cook for us?
Sure.
Thank you.
I need to be able to talk to the client on WebEx and then without being in the courtroom.
We understand. We just don't want to hear the whole conversation. All right.
Did you call this case or what?
I was trying. I think I did.
Oh, okay. All right, well, I'll go down. Second
ahead.
arrest, 2022 simple battery dead docket.
All right. Stay.
That's my case. That case was actually the 2022 dead docket was dead docketed because the defendant started to take advantage of an opportunity to do diversion. He has been terminated from diversion actually as of July the 9th, 2024. So that case may be brought up. That case, the 22 CR 0034771E was also against his mother. In front of you today is 20-year-old Samuel Njemo. This is 2 counts, criminal trespass, family violence, and a simple assault, family violence. Police went to the location where the victim reported that her son was angry because she smelled weed. She told him he needed to get out of her house. She went and got into her car in the parking lot. He went out to the car. She turned off service to his cell phone, and he began demanding money from her. I think $200 he'd given her previously for some maybe service. When she didn't engage with him, he began striking the vehicle she was in, including damaging the hood and the driver's side panel while she was sitting in the car. They do have a previous case. His mother reports that there may be some MH issues. There's clearly an issue going on, Your Honor. We would ask for an MHET, no contact with his mom, stay away from the location, and have a one-time law enforcement escort to get his things. We'd be asking for a $2,000 surety. His 2022 case required no violent contact with his mom, and he had a $5,000 SOB. His mom signed that as a co-signer. So we're asking for a $2,000 surety, stay away from the location, have absolutely no contact with his mom, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
Do you wish to address the court today? Yes or no?
No. She has said everything I told her.
Okay, all right. The answer is no. Okay, thank you. You can continue to observe. PD McLean?
Your Honor, given, let's see if I'm unmuted. Yes, I am. Given the amount of the history, I understand that, I understand what the allegations are, certainly, but this could be a signature bond, Your Honor. He's got a friend who was easy to find, easy to contact by phone. He get a place to live with friends. He's 20 years old. That's what 20-year-olds do, is they have plenty of couches to surf on, and he'll keep up with his court dates, Your Honor.
Is he working or employed?
Right now, he's going to be taking some classes at a location of a school branch that he mentioned that I'm familiar with. It's the Gwinnett Tech branch that's in Alpharetta. It's right by Avalon Shopping Center. So fairly large facility, not huge. It is a branch of Gwinnett Tech that's on 316. He's going to be taking classes there. And his friend is probably zooming in, but he shouldn't have any problem staying organized enough to keep up with his court.
Does he need a one-time escort back?
Yes, he does, Your Honor. And the state's asking for a surety bond because he is in violation of the bond he's on from 2022, where he threw his mom down on the ground because she took his electronics away. And I didn't hear a response about whether or not this gentleman is working.
I think he said no.
In school?
Going to sign up. All right, I will order the $2,000 surety bond. That'll be $500 on the criminal trespass, $1,500 on the simple assault. He is to have no further contact with his mom right now until he can get it together, and hopefully she won't feel unsafe. No further contact. Stay away from the incident location. There was a request for an MHET, but I didn't hear the PDs mentioned anything of that sort. Or should we have BHET talk to him and assess him a little bit?
I don't have any indications in that area right now, Your Honor.
All right.
His mother requested a MHET, Your Honor. I believe she says he's refusing treatment.
Okay. Guess I'll go ahead and ask for an order for an MHET. If the PDs could get me that order.
Well, Your Honor, it would not, I don't have any indication. I don't have any reasons to put in the order for myself of anything I've observed that I could cite.
So maybe we should have a breakout session. We can put him to the end of the calendar, and maybe you can talk to your client again and see if information that is being provided to you makes sense. You just heard he's got a case against his mom. He's still living at home, and he's assaulting her based on taking his electronics away. He's an adult. Let's start there.
Okay.
All right, we'll make a decision. We'll move it to the end so we can have a breakout. All right, this is for position 13, Mr. Njimo. We're going to be ordering a $2,000 surety bond, $1,500 on the simple assault, $500 on the criminal trespass for a $2,000 surety. I'm going to order BHUT. I'm going to order no further contact with, do not go by her work or home or have any contact with her. Stay away. Must be 200 yards away from her. Don't contact her through third parties or email or social media or anything. We're going to give you a one-time police escort to go back to the property to get your personal belongings. Do not go back by yourself. You have to arrange for police escort or else you'll be in violation and you can be arrested again. All right, that is the ruling of the court.
Thank you. Mr. McLean, answer your phone. We'll get ready to call.
Expires 24 CRB 1187, State of Ohio versus Daniel Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Smith, today's hearing is being recorded. Anything you say can be used against you in the future. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, you can make an application for a court-appointed attorney. I have a complaint here charging you with aggravated menacing. Did you receive a copy of that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Do you need me to read that to you?
No, sir, I understand it.
Okay. Maximum penalty is 180 days in jail, a $1,000 fine. Do you have any questions about that charge?
Well, I mean, I kind of thought I was just sitting in the grass behind Aldi, and I mean, I don't know. I mean, as I said, I don't know what aggravating menacing means, I guess, exactly, but I think I was just drunk sitting in the grass.
It's defined there in the complaint for you that you have. The definition is in the complaint there that you told me not to read to you.
Yeah, and I read it, but
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't sound like what I was doing, I guess.
Okay. So you want to plead not guilty today?
Not guilty, please.
Okay. Do you want to say anything before I set your bond?
No.
Okay. You live at Cypress Drive?
Did, yes.
You do?
I did.
You
I
do?
no longer
Where do you
live there.
You're homeless?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
You get mail somewhere?
Yes, sir, I believe it's Newark.
Okay. Whose residence is that?
He's a friend of mine, his name's Mitch.
Okay. Seen a doctor or anything?
Not recently, no.
Okay. See if a pending charge. Theft charge. Yeah. Okay. What's it set for? Attorney. Do you have an attorney on your other case, Mr. Smith?
No, sir.
Okay.
I probably need to file the application.
Yep, you need to do that. Okay, on this case, I'm gonna say your bond at 1,500, cash surety 10%, stay away from Home Depot. You understand that?
Yeah, I'll probably just be in jail because I don't have $150.
If you want an attorney, get that application filled out, put both cases on it, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This way,
Okay. All right, EDC, can you bring out the 3 bedrooms?
Yo, what that way? Copy that. Go back. This way.
Representing all 3 just for purposes of arraignment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
You guys have to stand right there side by side on the black line. Side by side on the black line.
We do Alex and Sam first, if they be less argument.
The same.
They do. Sorry? They do, yes.
I got Hassan.
Ali, I'm sorry.
I got all 3 on the screen.
Okay, but I was talking about it in the order of
On the order. Okay, that's fine. Whatever order you like. Gentlemen, state your name for the record.
Ali Beydoun. Hassan Beydoun. Sam Beydoun.
All right, calling case number 240591130102003. Houston, Michigan was Ali Beydoun, Hassan Beydoun, and Sam Beydoun. Appearance, please. People first. Unmute yourself, Mr. Vincent.
I really apologize. Steve Vincent for the People, P71917.
Mr. Hall?
Good morning, Your Honor. Cyril Hall on behalf of all three respondents, P29-121.
Will you form a reading stand mute with respect to all three of your clients?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, a court of not guilty plea on behalf of your clients. Mr. Vincent, what is your bond argument?
Judge, we're going to be requesting $50,000 for Mr. Hassan Beydoun. We're going to be asking for $25,000, and this is cash assurity for the other two defendants, all with monitorization.
Okay, hold
Judge,
on.
Yeah.
Hold on. You said a mouthful. You wanted $50,000 for whom?
For Mr. Hassan Beydoun, who's being charged with all of the counts, the GBHFA, FFFF, aggravated assault.
Hassan is 50, you're requesting, and the other two you're asking for $25K plus monetization?
That's correct, Magistrate.
Okay, all right, thank you, that's clarified. Proceed with your argument.
Thank you. And Judge, I would be remiss if I didn't say this first. I would say that this is vigilante justice, which the people wouldn't condone in the first place. But I can't even say that because we have a reserve Detroit Police Department officer, a reserve officer involved in this matter. And as everyone knows, I'll be the first one to support police officers in any given matter. I'll be the first one to do it. But
that'd be who? Hassan?
Yeah,
okay.
That's defendant one. And I'm going to be the first one to stand up for police officers, but not here, not in this situation. Not with something like this. This is what makes everything look bad. So unfortunately, I have to move forward with this argument in the prosecution, Judge. Here we have.
You're filibustering. Spit it out.
No, I'm laying the foundation. I'm laying the foundation.
This foundation is another man's filibuster. Get to your point, please.
Well,
okay,
Judge,
I got it.
We have these three individuals that apparently are all brothers. They have a sister who apparently is going to get married to a gentleman that they don't like. So they took it upon themselves to track the individual down and beat the crap out of him, sending him to the hospital, letting him know that this is a warning for him, that they can erase him from the earth. And the warning was equivalent to pistol whipping. The warning was equivalent to punching and kicking him, sending him to the hospital. That's what their warning was. And this has to do, unfortunately, with the DPD reserve officer. So respectfully, Judge, we find them to be a danger. The warning, the assault, the fact that the officer should be held to a higher standard, it just makes everything, Judge, look not just bad, but dangerous. You saw the guns that the search warrant ended up producing. The defendant here, the DPD officer, ended up having a gun. Apparently, he doesn't get a department-issued firearm. He has to produce that himself. He only gets a uniform, but he used a gun to pistol whip this individual. And you can see all of the injuries. ID'd as the offenders in this incident, Judge. Respectfully, we're asking for that cash with monitorization.
Mr. Vincent, what is the current condition of the complaining witness? Do you have an update on that?
I don't. You know what? He was in the hospital as of, I don't know if it was per the identification, but the last insert was that he was in the hospital.
Okay, Mr. Hall.
Your Honor, the court, I'm satisfied that the court read the report in this particular matter. The report clearly revealed that this individual is alleged to have had bruises and scrapes no fractures, no intracranial bleeds, none of that, no subdural hematoma. So if somebody hit somebody in the head with a pistol, you would expect subdural hematomas, you would expect other type serious injuries. That's not the case in this particular matter. And another way the court would be aware of that is in terms of the charges against Alex and Ali Beydoun as well as Sam. You see that they're charged with assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder, and also an alternative aggravated assault. So that tells us something about the claim of the injury. With respect to Hassan, Your Honor, this is an individual, he's been married in excess of 30 years. He has 3 children, 2 of which are adults. One is approximately 17 years of age, no criminal history whatsoever. He also has a hunting license. He has a cabin where he goes to hunt. He's an individual that has owned businesses and worked in this community, and he's never been before the court for any particular charge. The question becomes ultimately whether or not there's a collection of circumstances that would suggest that he would reappear in court, and also whether or not he would be a threat to this particular individual. I submit to the court that we would accept that no contact provision in this particular matter because of the fact that they do not have to have any contact. But we strenuously deny that he was even present and that he was involved in this particular altercation. But our investigation reveals, Your Honor, which I'm not trying to litigate today, is that this individual complaining witness indicated since their family didn't want him, he was going to make an effort to destroy the family. And that's what he set out to do. And he goes into a hospital with very minor injuries. So in terms of reappearing in court as it relates to Hassan Beydoun, the question is, would he reappear? The answer is yes. Police came to his residence, they executed a search warrant. He indicated to the police, weapons are mine, they're all registered to him. So no mystery with respect to that.
Okay. What about defendant number 2? Ali Beydoun.
Yeah,
or you want to go to Sam first?
Well, I can go to Sam. Yes,
okay.
I'll take Sam.
Whatever your pleasure is.
Thank you. With respect to Sam, Sam owns Castle Auto Sales along with his brother who's present here. And he has no criminal history whatsoever. You note that the charges are in the alternative. They indicate that it could have been an aggravated assault. He has no history, Your Honor. It's an individual that will reappear at any time designated by the court. In addition to that, what happened was the police we contacted the police yesterday because we were in the process of doing a writ for Hassan Beydoun. When we found out 10 minutes after we started the writ and had talked to a judge, then the next thing that occurred, we saw on our screen in the office that the warrant issued. So that stopped the writ procedure. But then what we did notice was the other 2 brothers were charged. So at that time, I contacted the detective. Called the detective, no call back. The call last night from one of the officers. He indicated my client, Sam Beydoun, that they wanted him to turn himself in. Sam doesn't live far from me. I said, hey, I'll come right over. I went over to the residence about 1 o'clock.
Turn himself in.
Yes.
So he's not a flight risk?
No, not whatsoever, and doesn't need a tether. And we accept that he would not have any contact with the complaining witness or any other witnesses involved in this particular case. As it relates to Alex, Ali, we call him Ali. Okay. I've known family over 50 years.
He's Ali in this courtroom. Okay.
So what happened was, since I was turning in Sam, I spoke to the detectives. I said, hey, well, okay, I might as well call Ali and have him turn himself in. So that's what we did. And the evidence will reflect that he turned himself in. So he voluntarily drove to the DDC, turned himself in for purposes of the arraignment in this particular matter. He's not a flight risk, Judge. They already.
No, I don't believe he's a flight risk either. I am with respect to all 3 of your clients, Mr. Hall. I don't. The court's not persuaded that they are a flight risk. I am more so concerned about the safety to the complaining witness And based on my information, and Mr. Vincent can correct me if I'm wrong, the complaining witness lives in Dearborn Heights, I believe, or Dearborn Heights. And I'm concerned about his safety, and if you can address the issue holistically with respect to all three of your clients as to whether or not they are a danger to the complaining witness.
Yeah, and the answer to that is in the negative, Your Honor. And I can indicate to the court, one, because I'm here, okay, and they're not going to have any further contact with them. We had a long discussion about that. They have parents in the community, all of them that are still alive. So we're not trying to do anything with respect to this particular individual, but litigate this controversy before the court of law. And that's what we want to do. So, Judge, and all this about a tether, they don't need a tether. They need to go on and continue to do the work that they were going to do. As a matter of fact, Ollie was going to go out of town this weekend. And he asked me, well, should I come to court? I said, yeah, we better come to court first because he was going to spend the weekend, I think, in Miami. Already paid for a ticket to go. But I said, no, we're going to come in and we're going to come here. That's what we did. So, Judge, no contact, no reason for them to have a contact. They're not going to throw their lives away about this particular incident, Judge, that's virtually involving whether or not this gentleman is going to marry their sister.
Okay.
They've been here all their life, Judge. So this is not a situation where we're talking about some honor killing or anything of that sort. That doesn't even apply. These are married.
Okay. Mr. Vincent, your response?
Listen, I can appreciate defense counsel. He's doing what he's retained to do. But when I have hostile individuals attacking one person, using guns, beating him up, warning him, telling him they can erase him from the earth. No, this is pretty serious stuff. I mean, with all due respect to defense counsel, minimizing the injuries, minimizing the incident, I don't, I think that's a little disingenuous because we have an individual who apparently is still engaged to these individuals' sister. Nothing there has changed. We have an individual that was already assaulted by these three individuals. And Judge, we have an individual that apparently got put in the hospital because of them. So this is an ongoing situation. They have good defense counsel. That's great. They're going to need it. But with all of that being said, they're not life risks. They're dangers because this is an ongoing incident. They're dangers. They're clear and present dangers to this individual. Okay. That's why we're asking for the cash. That's why we're asking for the monitorization.
Okay, counsels, I'm ready to rule. You both provided great arguments for the court. Well argued on both sides. Both sides have brought up great points for the court's consideration. Let's start out with Mr. Hassan Beydoun. And he is the reserve officer, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, and the court is aware that this is not an assault with intent to murder case.
Right, I'm well aware of that. But based on the report and the allegations in the investigative report, it looks like allegedly it was his weapon to use, and per the report, it was him, Hassan Beydoun, that was pistol whipping, while the other two brothers were kind of aiding and abetting, for lack of a better word. Now, all the facts will be fleshed out at a later date, but I'm just saying from the investigative report, that's what I ascertained. So the bond with respect to Mr. Hassan Beydoun, I am going to give him a $50,000 personal bond with the following conditions: not to possess any handguns, firearms, or other dangerous weapons, no contact with, and I'm going to fit him with a GPS tether, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew. And that's due to the fact that it looks like his degree of culpability or involvement, but like I say culpability, involvement, I should say, no culpability has been determined yet. Is the degree of involvement in this instance as written in the police report? I find that the tether is needed to track his whereabouts and to make sure he has no contact with the complaining witness. Now, with respect to the other two, I think defendant 2 has a criminal history from a little while ago. He's a habitual second offense known. Is that correct?
And we had expunged his record within the last year, all those particular charges, but he has a limited history and it goes back. I do know that.
Okay.
And I presented him on those particular matters.
So you're saying they have been expunged, you just haven't cleared the system yet, or what is the?
I think it hasn't cleared because I know my partner represented him doing an expungement matter. Started out with me, but someone else.
Okay. And given it that the fact that this conviction occurred in the 20th century, almost 30 years ago, it's little to no weight. So he has not been had any criminal convictions in the past 29, almost 30 years. All right. And given the fact that these two, Mr. Ali Beydoun and Sam Beydoun, were, for all intents and purposes, as I read the report, the accessories, I am going to give both of them a personal bond, no GPS tether at this time, although that may change if there's any further contact with the complaining witness. So I'm going to give each of them a $50,000, all three a $50,000 personal bond. Ali Beydoun, Sam Beydoun. While this case is pending, gentlemen, you're not to possess any handguns, firearms, other dangerous weapons. No contact with, which I'm sure you will have no contact. That means no phone calls, text messages, handwritten letters or notes, through social media, through a third party. Is that clear, gentlemen? That goes for all three of you. Is that clear?
With respect to Ali Beydoun, I'm going to respectfully ask the court to permit him to travel outside of his jurisdiction this week.
He can. How long are you going to be in Miami?
I'll be back Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. The flight arrives in Detroit.
He'll be allowed to travel to Miami and back.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Give me one moment. Okay, court dates for all three. Probable cause, September 10th, preliminary examination, September 17th. Both, all three of y'all in front of Judge Sabri. Again, no weapons and no contact. Have a good day, gentlemen.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm back.
Good afternoon. May I have your name?
Robert J. Shindorf.
Mr. Shindorf, we're on the record in case number 24-2599 SM. You are appearing for arraignment purposes this afternoon on a bench warrant for a failure to appear. You're appearing with Ms. Mistally, the defense attorney available through the Indigent Defense Counsel here to assist you. Ms. Mistally, did you have opportunity to review the allegations on the bench warrant, nature of the same with Mr. Shindorf?
I did, and Mr. Shindorf is requesting a hearing with his lawyer.
Okay. So Mr. Schindler, we will schedule that hearing as quickly as possible. We will make sure that Mr. Kane is also aware. You will be remanded until the time of that hearing, and for right now, then, sir,
Remanded?
you are also,
What does remanded mean?
you'll be in jail until the time of the hearing, but we will get that expedited.
What time would this be?
It's not scheduled yet. It would be scheduled according to the judge's calendar.
Oh, so that could be like infinity then, because I don't see if I don't have a set date that I don't know how early in here. That's not fair to me, ma'am. It's not.
Okay, it's not infinity. We have to have the hearing scheduled within 14 days. My guess is it will be sooner than that.
Why would
The court has to schedule that.
Ma'am,
Pardon
why
me?
do I have to be why do I have to be in jail for that? I want to say this. These dates are too close together. That's why I didn't make it.
Okay, you don't want to say anything. We're on the record, so you don't want to say anything, right, that could hurt you. So talk to Mr. Kane. He's your attorney. Again, we'll get that hearing scheduled as quickly as possible. For right now, sir, you are all set.
So I'm getting stuck here until infinite because you can't give me the right answer. Oh, this sucks. Are we done talking?
We are. Thank you.
So infinite. It's infinite because I don't have an answer.
Thank you, ma'am.
Have a nice holiday week.